As a martial artist, one of the most common questions I get is, hey, hold on a second. This little tattoo on your wrist here says non-violence. That means to live a life without hurting other people. How do you then go and justify training 3 to 4 times a week to beat the crap out of other people? How do those two mix with each other? How does 1 + 1 = 4? That doesn't make any sense. Well, in this video, I'm gonna answer the question, can you be a martial artist and simultaneously believe in living a life of non-violence or striving towards peace? So keep watching if you want to know how you can possibly train 3 to 4 times a week to beat the crap out of people while also wanting to never hurt anyone in your entire life. Let's do it. So to give an actual answer to this question, I first need to tell you a little bit about myself. I was around 5 to 6 years old when I first went to primary school. I got bullied a lot in primary school. Kids picked up my bag, they threw it. I was like, hey, why are you doing that? They didn't tell me, they just said I was ugly and stupid. Then I got to high school, bullying got a little bit worse. They would punch me in the back of the head. They would pick stuff up and hit me with it. They would hold me down and threaten to break my legs. I remember this one time I was on the school bus and this kid took crutches from another kid and literally held them in his hand and just punched me in the back of the head over and over and over and over again. It was quite humiliating to say the least. But the important part of the story isn't the fact that I got bullied. The important part of the story is what the people did when they saw me getting bullied. And more importantly, what they wanted to do, but couldn't. When this kid was punching me in the back of the head on the bus over and over and over again, I was looking around at other people on the bus, and I could see in their eyes, they were thinking, I am so sorry this is happening to you. I wish I could do something, but I don't want to get wrapped up in that, because then he's just going to target me. They didn't want to put themselves in the firing line because they weren't sure that they had the skills necessary to deal with it. Similarly, one time at school, this kid pinned me up against the wall and told me he was going to break my legs. He had all of his friends behind him laughing at me, and I had my friends behind me. And actually, as he was doing this, some of my friends not only didn't help, but some of them actually turned around, walked behind him, and started laughing at me as well. The friends that didn't do that, again, kind of looked at me thinking, I wish I could help you, man, but I just can't. I don't have the skills necessary. What were they gonna do? Put themselves in the firing line? What good would that really do if they don't know how to deal with it? This other time as a kid, I was walking to the movies with my friends and then a group of guys were waiting outside. They essentially tried to take my wallet by saying, hey, give me your wallet, and they pushed me in the middle of this circle. My 2 friends that I was with looked at me, gave me those eyes again, said, I wish I could help you, bro, but they just walked inside the cinemas. They literally left me in a group of guys trying to take my money and threatening to beat me up. They just left me there. Now at the time, my thought process was, guys, what the heck? Why are you such cowards? You're not even good friends. But now that I look back on it, I realize they wanted to help. They were just scared and they didn't have the tools or knowledge required to be able to help. Even if they wanted to, and even if they did, the result would have been the same. The only difference would be now they'd be getting hurt as well. So how does this all relate to the theory of living a life of non-violence? Well, that's actually quite simple. If there's one thing I've learned in my life so far, it's that no matter what you do, there are always going to be people out there in life that are willing to use violence in order to hurt you and get what they want. That is a constant. It won't change, and we can't count on it changing as a form of trying to protect ourselves or protect others. I want to stop and think for a second to any of these scenarios and think about what would have happened if just one of these people who looked at me with these eyes and said, I'm sorry this is happening to you, actually had the tools and the knowledge and the capabilities to be able to step in and stop this from happening. What if they knew jiu-jitsu? What if they knew judo? What if they could actually throw a good punch, cover their head, and not be afraid to get hit in the face? Then maybe one of them could have helped me. Then maybe they would have put an end to this cycle of violence that this person perpetuated on me again and again and again and again, day after day after day after day. What if there was a good person on that bus who was better at using violence than the bad guy? Because let's be real, in the moment, the only thing that can stop a bad guy who's willing to be violent is a good guy who's better at violence. So I justify trying to live a life of non-violence while simultaneously training to beat the crap out of people 3 to 4 times a week by thinking to myself, the reason I'm doing this isn't to hurt others. The reason I'm doing this is to stop someone from hurting others. When I look someone in the eyes who's being abused, I don't want to sit there and give them that face that says, I'm sorry, I wish I could help. I want to be able to actually do something. And the only way that I will ever be able to actually do something is if I'm better at violence than the bad guy. That's it. So, peace, love, non-violence. How do I live that? By never starting a fight with people, by always trying to take the peaceful route. But when I see someone else in need of help, and the only way to do that is by being violent, you better fucking bet I'm gonna do that. And I will confidently assert that that's not an immoral act, and in fact, the immoral act would be to refuse to help and allow that unnecessary violence to continue happening in front of your eyes when you're otherwise capable of doing something about it. Living a life of non-violence doesn't only consist of never hurting anybody, it also consists of protecting the innocent, protecting those who can't protect themselves. And that is how I justify training to beat the crap out of people 3 to 4 times a week while having non-violence tattooed on my wrist.